This is a question that comes up often in normal times, and even more so now that the COVID-19 situation is ongoing. And vaccinations have generally not been as widely accepted by the Amish as they have been in the general public, and there's several reasons for that. In fact, there's actually three main reasons why Amish are less likely to get vaccinated. This is not just in relation to COVID, but speaking generally. First is that there can be a lack of understanding of the benefits of vaccination. In other words, some Amish may simply see no benefit to taking this preventative measure. That they might not have an understanding of why it's important to get vaccinated. Charles Hurst and David McConnell, who wrote a book called An Amish Paradox, wrote that the Amish actually underutilize immunization, and the reason might be that, quote, many of their parents and grandparents did not get immunizations and suffered few, if any, health problems as a consequence. Another researcher, Gertrude Enders Huntington, wrote that in health matters, the Amish are pragmatists. When approached with facts by individuals whom they trust, and when immunization is easy to obtain, most Amish are willing to be immunized. She also notes that knowledge of Amish culture on the part of medical professionals can help increase immunization rates among the Amish. When you have the somewhat abstract benefits of immunization explained in the right way by the right people, Amish are more likely to comply and get vaccinated. Hurst and McConnell also say that immunization can be especially low among conservative groups. And we have to keep in mind here, there are different types of Amish. There's not just one flavor, if you will, of Amish. They're more conservative, they're more progressive. So they use the example of the Schwarzentruber Amish, which is one of the most conservative of all groups. And they've found that only 6% of Amish from that group participated in immunization compared to 63% of the overall Amish population and 85% of the non-Amish population. That's in reference to a 1984 study. Some Amish may respond positively to vaccination when they consider that not having it can negatively affect others, by helping to spread disease. And this was the case when a polio outbreak occurred in an Amish community way back in 1979. Initially, the Amish there resisted immunization, but later chose to be vaccinated after a church member argued for the safety of the non-Amish community. And another example, more recent one, of Amish getting vaccinated in a big way happened following a measles outbreak in Ohio in 2014. A group of the more progressive Amish had traveled overseas to the Southeast Pacific. One of them had gotten, or several had gotten, measles, brought that back home to the community, and hundreds of Amish ended up getting the disease. As a result of that, you had thousands and thousands of Amish from that very large community getting vaccinated. Reason number 2, distrust over safety. So Amish may have fears over the safety of immunizations like some other Americans do. And Huntington actually describes numerous concerns of the Amish over vaccinations, and these include fears over brain damage, crib death, introducing poisons into one's body, or even fear of catching the very disease that you're trying to prevent with the vaccination. She also notes that you can find anti-immunization articles and books within Amish communities. Like some people in the general public, some Amish may associate vaccines with autism, and that's another factor that discourages participation rates. Huntington states that, once again, trust in the care provider and having clearly explained information can really help increase compliance rates. Convenience and cost are also factors in this. So if it's easy to obtain and at a reasonable price, you're going to have more people complying and getting vaccinated. Reason number 3, religious objections. Finally, some Amish actually may object to vaccinations on religious grounds, but this tends to be a less likely objection than, say, concerns over safety. So Huntington notes that Amish who do acquire religious exemptions for vaccinations might cite Romans 12:2, be not conformed to this world, as one justification for abstaining from vaccines. Amish may argue that putting faith in immunizations is like placing faith in man above God, and that vaccination is similar to participating in insurance programs, which is something that the Amish typically do not do. So in summary, there are 3 main reasons why Amish tend to vaccinate less than the general public. 1 is a lack of understanding of benefits. 2 would be distrust over safety. And 3, some will oppose it on religious grounds. If you like the video, give us a like below, share it. You can also check us out at AmishAmerica.com.